If you're building something new, you know the feeling, right? That strange, heavy silence before anyone at all, has paid you a single cent. Well, today, we're going to break down the psychology behind getting that very first dollar. You've heard this a million times, haven't you? It's a classic startup cliche, but it's a cliche for a really good reason. Because until you've actually lived it, you don't realize just how much of that struggle isn't about the product. It's about what's going on in your own head. You see, that first dollar, it isn't just a transaction. It's a total transformation. Before you get it, your project is a hobby, it's an idea, it's just a theory you're playing with. But the moment someone pays you, it's like a switch flips. Suddenly, it's a business, it's the grind. The entire game just changes. And that's why it feels so huge. It carries this incredible weight, the weight of validation, of proof that you're not just, hallucinating this whole startup idea. It's not just a dollar. It's confirmation that you've actually created something of value in the world. But, oh my God, asking for that first dollar can feel impossibly hard. To figure out why, we have to unpack all the psychological baggage that comes along with what we call the ask. Seriously, it's one of the most nerve-wracking moments for any founder. So, what is really going on in our heads when we're about to make that first ask? It really just boils down to these three things. First, you know your product isn't perfect. Come on, it's probably half-baked, maybe a little buggy. Second, nobody knows who you are. You have zero reputation, no brand, no social proof. And third, and let's just be honest here, your own confidence is probably at an all-time low. You're just sitting there thinking, who the hell am I to charge money for this thing? It truly feels like you're asking someone to buy a ticket to a play while you are literally still on stage painting the backdrop. You're asking for their trust and their money for something that is fundamentally unfinished. It's a huge leap of faith. And here's the core idea. The first dollar and the 100th dollar are not the same thing at all. They represent two totally different currencies in your startup's growth. One is belief, and the other is momentum. Just think about the psychological weight of each milestone. That leap from $0 to $1 feels absolutely massive. But going from, say, $100 to $200, yeah, it's still important, but the weight is so much less. And that's because you're no longer just seeking belief. You're actually building momentum. So let's talk about that first currency, belief. That first payment is pure, raw validation. It is the external proof you desperately need to silence all that internal doubt. It tells you that someone, somewhere out there, trusted you enough to pay up. And the second currency? Momentum. All the dollars that come after that first one, they're different. They're proof that you have a process, a system. You've got feedback now, maybe some social proof. You're not just surviving on belief anymore. You're building a real, repeatable engine for growth. Because once you earn that belief, something incredible happens. Getting that first dollar doesn't just change your business, it fundamentally rewires your brain. Before that first dollar, your mind is just stuck in this loop of self-doubt, right? Is this good enough? Should I add one more feature? But after, the question changes instantly. It becomes strategic, it becomes forward-looking. Okay, that worked. How do I find the next 10 people just like that one? And that is the critical shift. You finally break out of that cycle of endless tweaking and perfectionism. You stop polishing and you start actually building a business one customer at a time. Okay, so knowing all of this, what do you do? How do you finally break through that wall? Here is a simple, actionable plan to get you there. Look, this is where most of us get stuck. We polish, we redesign, we do literally anything to avoid the scary part, asking for the money. But perfection is a fantasy, and it definitely won't pay the bills. So lower the stakes. The strategy is super simple. 1, pre-sell your idea. Offer a lifetime deal or a huge discount to reward someone for their early trust. 2, just DM someone. Find one person on social media who's complaining about the exact problem you solve and just start a conversation. 3, launch janky. You do not need a perfect website. A simple Gumroad or Stripe payment link is more than enough to get started. And that is the entire goal. Don't think, I need 100 users. Just think, I need $1. Focus all of your energy on that single achievable target, because I promise you, once you get it, everything else gets so much easier. So once that first dollar finally hits your account, this becomes the only question that matters. You've earned the belief. Now it's time to go build the momentum.